Alright, welcome to another godsgeek.com how to StarCraft 2. We're going to be looking at some TvT action today in the Bronze/Silver League at the moment. I'm not quite sure if this was a bronze game, having just been promoted myself. And TvT is always a nasty matchup. People are always thinking up cool strategies to get TvT out of the way within 10 to 15 minutes. I know Total Biscuit likes to go for his Battle Cruiser Rush. I like to sometimes go for an all-in Marines and SCV push. But in today's case, I'm actually using this match to practice a few things. I'm going for some good SCV producage. Yeah, producage, that's a great word. Producing. So I'm going to try and get some SCVs out all the time, and I'm going for 3 barracks. Now, watching some Husky's always going on about producing SCVs and making enough buildings to produce off of one base. And I hear 3 barracks is something you can use to produce off one base. If you go 4 barracks, then you know you might need a bit more cash. But if you go 3 barracks and more unit buildings, you're probably not going to have enough money to produce from all of them at the same time. So I'm going for a very bio-heavy strategy here, and I know my opponent probably is going to go siege tanks, because in TvT they always go siege tanks if they're going for the mid to long game. So it's interesting how I'll take this on. I know that siege tanks counter my build, and I'm just trying to see if my micro can do better, or if I can just out macro my opponent. As you can see here, I've sent my scout out, and I've actually managed to snipe his SCV on the barracks there. He was too slow to bring his SCVs out to stop me, and now his barracks is going to finish a little bit later, and he's 1 SCV down. And I'm just going to try and get this one to get in there for a scout. Obviously I don't want to lose him, and now I'm blocked off. But hey, open the front door, thank you very much. And I'll go out there and set a patrol. It's always good to set a patrol. You press P and shift and you can set a number of patrol. You can watch it here, there you go. I've set quite a random patrol there, but I'm trying to get back to my macro, and as you can see I'm going for the command center. First barracks is up, and I should really be going for second and third barracks pretty soon. I'm just annoying his SCVs. He gets me in the end because of my poor patrol, but hey, his SCVs were off the mineral line for quite a while. So the mineral line nowhere near saturated here. You want 3 workers per mineral patch. Basically that is so when 1 SCV runs away, there are 2 others working on that mineral patch, and that's the best way to get some minerals in StarCraft 2. So at this low level play, it's all about who's got the better economy, who can produce more units, and who can really use those units effectively. In this match, I can tell you now, it's all about map control, as you've probably seen in the title. So I don't always go for map control, or vision as it were, but it's really important, and we'll show you why in this match. So I'm going for the 3 racks. Some people go for 2 racks with tech labs. Some people go 2 reactors, 1 tech lab. I'm going for 2 reactors, and that's just so I can get some extra units out. You know, 2 Marines can out DPS, in inverted wow commas, a Marauder. And seeing as we're going TvT, I just want more units out there. And obviously, if he's going anything for like Banshees, Marines are always better than Marauders, because hey, Marauders can't shoot the air. I'm going for a supply depot there, trying not to get supply blocked. Doing a good job of it early on, but hey, I'm not producing SCVs, gonna have to look at that for the next match. Should always be producing SCVs, especially at this stage. You think this mineral line is saturated, but hey, it's not. Could use a few more SCVs. If we go back to the everyone cam, we can see what my opponent is doing. He is going for a 1-1-1 into a 2-1-1. It's basically one barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. He's actually going for a 2nd barracks. So as I was saying before, 3 barracks is all I can produce off in 1 base. And you can see my minerals are really low, which means I've been producing units all the time, and I'm doing pretty well. Although I should have more SCV, so then again my minerals could be higher. But my opponent has gone for 2 barracks, and then he's gone for a starport and a factory. And he's not going to be able to produce off all of these, I don't think, at least anyway. And he's not actually producing off this 2nd barracks, he's not producing off this starport, he's just getting the siege tank out. And that siege tank is really important. He hasn't scouted me, so he doesn't know what I've got. But what he doesn't realise is that his siege tank is going to be really good against my push. I'm just going to push now, have a little poke, to see what's going on at the front of his base. I know he's got some buildings up at the front, so just going to go try and snipe a supply depot, annoy him, maybe supply block him. It's always really annoying to get supply blocked, and maybe force him to use his energy to top up a supply depot to get that extra supply, or just waste some minerals. So as you can see, I'm going in here, going to use a scan up here and try and get it, see what I've got. I don't know the siege tank is up at this point, because hey, I haven't scouted since my SCV was at the beginning. If we go to my point of view, continuing to produce the SCVs there, and I'm going to go for this push any second now, I promise you. Definitely go for this push. Wow, taking a while, Alright, I'm going for this push, Get the scan up. Oh look, siege tank in my face, and it's best to get out of there. And if we go to the units lost tab, we can see exactly how much I've lost. Lost quite a bit. 325 resources lost just on that attack. And it shows how powerful siege tank is. I had more Marines and Marauders than him, and now I notice he has a medivac. So I know he has that medivac, which means I am expecting drops, and which is why I'm withdrawing this force, because hey, he could be dropping me right now. It's good to have a force in the base. So I'm continuing to produce off these 3 barracks. You can see my minerals are pretty low, even though queuing up units really bad. Should never queue up units, or if you're going to queue up units, queue up 2 or 3, never 4 or 5. But I am keeping my minerals low. I'm getting those SCVs out there. Should be producing SCVs now, but I'm not. So always something to know. And I supply block myself, so that's always a mistake. But hey, I went for that attack. I got sidetracked. My macro went down the toilet a little bit, and I was just, oh my god, dropship. Get my guys back. So at this point, I know my guy has my opponent has siege tanks. I know he has dropships. So what I'm going for here is the engineering bay. I'm going to get some sensor towers up. Sensor towers are really cool. They show you when your opponent enters a circular field, and doesn't exactly show the unit, but it shows they are there, and you can probably guess what kind of unit they have got there. So I'm going to produce 1 sensor tower here, which will cover any drops coming from this side, and I'm going to create 1 here, which will look out for any drops coming on this side. Now at this point, my minerals are getting pretty high. I should probably expand, and hey, guess what? My opponent is expanding. If I go to my camera point of view, I've got this Zelnaga watchtower, which has given me sight of his command center. He is going for a very sneaky command center at the top left here, which is covered by these rocks. Normally, you get your first expansion at your natural slot, but a sneaky one makes your opponent think that you've gone for 1 base, and you're actually on 2 base. So it's really important to deny him that, and I'm sending the bulk of my force. See, I've got 2 Marines here and a sensor tower there. Not really enough to hold anything off, so I'm just going to go for a quick snipe of that command center. See if I can do it. Go back to the everyone cam. He's got it down there. He's even building 2 refineries, and he's building missile turrets. You can actually see he's got missile turrets in his front base as well. He hasn't actually scouted me, so I don't even have a starport. I don't even have any stealth units, so he's just thrown those minerals away, and that's more minerals that he could have spent on an army, but he spent them on useless static defenses. So he's doing the wise thing. He's picking this up. He's trying to get it away. I stim my Marines and Marauders and make them chase it. And the Marines obviously taking that down. Marauders can't shoot there. And I've got to be really quick because he could be counter-attacking. As you can see on the mini-map, he's not counter-attacking, but I need to get these units back. I could really take this force right here, these Marines and Marauders, but these siege tanks, far too much splash damage. He'll really make toast of my bio ball. So at this time, I can't attack him front on. I have to deny him expansion, snipe stuff, and continue to produce units. Producing a command center myself, and when I've got my second base up, I'm planning to go with a bit more tech. Engineering bay really good. It's still got upgrades for your bio units. Weapons upgrade level 1 going up there, and you can see on the mini map here these sensor towers, these 2 circular circles. Wow, yeah. If my opponent enters these, I can see a little red dot, and then I can see if he's trying to attack me. Going for a missile turret here because I did scout this. If you go to my perspective, I did scout this. 2 starports with tech labs generally means Banshees unless he's going for battle cruisers, but I'm getting the missile turrets out just in case. And it's pretty much a standoff at this point. He's scanning to see what's going on. You can see I've got a lot of Marines and Marauders. He should really be putting his siege tanks, leapfrogging them down to try and deal with it. He's actually going for a drop, and now he's got two drop ships. One of them isn't full, but hey, we'll let him off for that. One's got Marauders, one's got Marines, or three Marauders and a bunch of Marines. And he's doing quite well to angle them around the map. I haven't got any detection out here. I can't see this is happening. I'm just chilling out here thinking, hey, this is pro. And look, I got an offensive sensor tower, so I can see the movement in his base. I can actually see the units in his base. I can see if he's starting to move out. If he starts to move siege tanks out, maybe I'll move forward, try and snipe them before they siege back up. This is just what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to contain. I'm trying to look at the map. If we look back to the everyone cam, his things are coming in now. Can't see them yet. Can't see them yet. No forces back in my base, so a drop would really be devastating. Now here they are. 2 blips on my map. I think they are going to be dropships, so I hot tail this back. I stim just for the run speed, and luckily my expansion is up, so I can transfer all my SCVs over to that expansion slot, because I needed to run anyway, and I don't lose too many workers in this fight. Now if you look at the units lost tab, his units are going up and up and up, mine going up a little bit, but hey, this drop has failed. He's lost everything in this drop. And my all my SCVs have done is transferred to the expansion slot, and they will get mining in a second when I remember to tell them to. Well, at this point I've only got a few forces out here. My opponent, Star Climber, could probably push out at this point. He's got enough Banshees and siege tanks. Not too many Marines and Marauders, but you know, a siege tank push might do the trick against this slot. And now I'm moving my other forces back in, going for a 4th barracks. Finally going for 4th barracks and going for the double factory. Gonna try and aim for some siege tanks myself. And now I can see here more blips on my sensor tower. Are they dropships? Are they Banshees? I don't know. So I actually do a scan to identify what they are, and I've got my missile turret here, which is really helpful because they're cloaked. But hey, my missile turret shows them for the fiends they are.
Mineral field depleted.
And at this point, my second Zelnaga watchtower, which I've captured, is telling me that another sneaky command center is going up here. My opponent obviously too shy to push out and take this natural, so he's going for like the sneaky expand. Meanwhile, I've expanded ages ago. And look at my economy; it's rolling. I haven't got too much gas going. My mistake. But if you look at the income here, I've got almost double his income. And I'm moving off my Marines and Marauders once again to snipe this expansion. See, once again, my force is here, not very good. If we go from his perspective, he can see what I've got here. He's got a sensor tower himself, right here. So he can see I've only got this force here. I could perhaps have more forces back here, he doesn't know. But still, he could have pushed out here. But instead, I'm going to push out and snipe this. And we'll see in a minute, he's not too happy about that. And he just leaves the game. He just gets frustrated, obviously too scared to take me on in a full frontal battle, which to be honest he could have won if he'd have got his siege tanks out here and got siege tanks here. The buildings are in the way kind of, so you don't really want to block off in a TvT. Because it kind of hinders you. But if you'd have got those siege tanks out, got the bio ball and the Banshees, because hey, the Banshees still good, do some good damage. Get the bio ball down the ramp. So at this point, I haven't got siege tanks, and at no point does he really scan me to see what I've got to scout me. So he could have got this force down the ramp, taken me on, and then got the siege tanks out, deployed the siege tank here, 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 and then he could have secured his expansion here. And it would have been more of a fun battle, but hey, that's what map control can do for you. He tried to expand up here, he could not expand. He tried to go dropships. My sensor tower picked up the dropships. I got my forces back in time, dealt with them, and he lost a ton of resources doing that. And once again, he tried to get a dropship from his base to here, and this Zelnaga watchtower, just one marine at Zelnaga watchtower showed me that he had a command center, and that was sniped here. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that one. Hope you next time you play, you try and get that map control, you try and get that vision. And Terran, build those sensor towers for Terran. Really underused. You see, we had one here that we had one here that's spotted, that's the one I'm looking for, spotted the dropship, and we had one here that really, spotted the Banshees and an offensive turret for some stealth detection. So really hope you enjoyed that one, and good luck in your next game.